What's going on, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. How's everybody doing? Thanks for being patient. I just got off the phone with inventor Lee Wheelbarger, and he was filling me in on some very important stuff here. If you guys haven't seen KLW World News, you should definitely check him out. He's on YouTube, he's on Rumble. I was just chatting with him about what's going on here on the screen with these planes. What's going on, Lorna? K. Paul? How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are doing well. Got a ton of information to share with you. So I'm going to give you guys a full update with all the latest. So we'll probably be here for a little while. I had to gather all my information because I just had my 100,000 subscriber celebration stream like 2 hours ago. So then I was just collecting information for this one. Um, so that's why I'm a little bit late. And then Lee gave me a call and was filling me in on some info. Um, so much news. So I don't even know where to get started. I don't really have this information in any particular order. So because it just all came in so fast, so just bear with me. It's not perfectly organized, but I want to just start off with what's going on right now in the Middle East on the screen here, which is a flight tracker. This is what I was talking about with Lee Wheelbarger. And he's telling me that this drone here, this is an RQ-4 Global Hawk, and he's very concerned about it because, number one, it's a brand new drone. We've never seen this drone fly here before. It's Forte 16. We've seen Forte 10, Forte 11 operate in the Black Sea near Ukraine and Romania, but Forte 16 is an entirely different drone. And this means that this drone is now going to be dedicated to this region here. And this is going to be its full-time job now, patrolling this area off the coast of Lebanon. And what Lee was telling me, because he has a lot of knowledge and experience with, all this stuff with planes, and he's got all the experience with the, intelligence gathering and surveillance and stuff like that. And he was telling me that this flight pattern here that this RQ-4 is doing is basically the type of pattern you would do if you're getting ready to launch an attack on an enemy. He said this particular pattern, you see how it looks like the eye of a needle here, and it almost looks like a boomerang. And on the end of the boomerang, you have these two like loops, kind of looks like two needles. Like you took like two needles and you took the sharp parts and you put them together, and then you have the eyes of the needle on either side. And he says that that's a sign that the U.S. is collecting information on targets in Beirut, because what you see here is you have these eyes or these loops, and one is like just to the south of Beirut, one is to the north of Beirut, and they're kind of focusing on this area here. So this could be a sign that either something is about to go down, maybe Hezbollah has something planned, or Israel or NATO is going to do something to Beirut, possibly. They're collecting information here. So that's why I was a few minutes late, because I was talking with Lee and he was filling me in on this. So this is very, very concerning, guys. So we could potentially see airstrikes on Beirut very soon, possibly. I mean, who knows? But the situation's not looking good right now because the ceasefire has collapsed, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a restart to the ceasefire anytime soon. And we have the Islamic resistance in Iraq, which are the Iranian-backed militias in Iraq. They're now saying that they're going to restart their attacks on U.S. bases now that the ceasefire ended. And we also have this U.S. aerial refueler flying over northern Iraq right now. And for the past week or so, these aerial refuelers have been flying nonstop just outside of Erbil, between Erbil and Mosul. They've just been flying like loops over here. So what they're doing up there, what these refuelers are up to, I have no idea. What they're refueling, I have no idea. But I have a very bad feeling that things are going to pop off soon, especially in Iraq and Syria. I think those Iranian militias are going to start attacking U.S. bases again. Okay. Just up until like 2 weeks ago, right before the ceasefire, they fired ballistic missiles at one of our bases. They launched 2 ballistic missiles at one of our bases, guys. I mean, that's insane. 2 ballistic missiles. I mean, and then there was like one day where they were assaulting one of our bases with small arms. I mean, it was like a total war zone over there in Iraq, and of course, the mainstream media is not going to tell you about that, especially with the holidays. They want you focused on shopping. They want you to go to the mall, spend all your money on gifts. They don't want you to think about World War III and war in the Middle East and stuff like that. So this is very concerning. So I'm not going to really check the chat a whole lot right now because I want to get through the headlines here. So we're not here all night. Just want to acknowledge some of the super chats here. Pork Eating Crusader, that's a funny name. Thank you for the super chat. Piercing the Veil, thank you for the super chat. And Dan Zarks, sorry I missed the 100K celebration. Keep up the great work, brother. PPP. Thank you, Dan Zarks. I appreciate that. And Craig Hutchinson says, hey, NYPrepper, can you shout out my cousin Andrew? He's really depressed and he's a massive fan. He will really appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Andrew, I'm sorry that you're depressed. Just remember that nothing too good or too bad lasts for too long. So stay positive, and God has a plan for you and for everybody. So just keep that in mind. God loves you, and he doesn't want to see you sad. I don't want to see you sad. So try to just think about the good things in your life, and focus on that. So let me just get through some of the headlines here. It's just so much news to get through. Let me see. Where should I start? Okay, so this is coming from Reuters. Okay, Reuters is saying that there's 1 dead and 2 injured after a man attacks tourists near the Eiffel Tower. This was just tonight. 1 person died and 2 others were injured after a man attacked tourists in central Paris near the Eiffel Tower. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin said on Saturday police quickly arrested the 26-year-old man, a French national, using a taser stun gun. Darmanin told reporters the suspect had been sentenced to 4 years in prison in 2016 for planning another attack and was on the French Security Services watch list and was also known for having psychiatric disorders, the Interior Minister added. The attack took place around 1900 GMT time when the man attacked a tourist couple with a knife on the Quai de Grenelle, a few feet from the Eiffel Tower, mortally wounding a German national. He was then chased by police and attacked 2 other people with a hammer before being arrested. Absolutely insane, guys. Okay, he attacked 2 people with a hammer, and he stabbed a German national to death. I mean, that's insane. Absolutely crazy, guys. let me just share some of the pictures here. This is coming from Reuters. So here's just some pictures from the incident. You can see all the police here. So this is crazy, guys. I told you that this would happen. Okay, we had that situation right before Thanksgiving Eve. We had the guy at the bridge in Niagara Falls, the bridge just north of Niagara Falls, and he crashed his car into the gate, into the checkpoint, and everybody was saying, "Oh, that was some kind of an accident." Yeah, right. I mean, who drives a car 100 miles an hour straight into a border crossing on Thanksgiving Eve, right next to a major U.S. landmark? I mean, just use your common sense. Do you really believe that that's an accident? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, who does that? I've never heard of anybody doing that, driving their car, especially in the Canadian border. I mean, the Canadian border is very mellow. Nothing ever happens there. Why would some person drive their car 100 miles an hour straight into the border checkpoint? It doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, so now we're hearing about this knife attack. I mean, it's just it's only going to get worse and worse, guys. I really have a bad feeling about New Year's. I have a bad feeling about Christmas. I think that we're basically in the same situation now as we were before 9/11. I'm getting that same feeling as before 9/11, like the months and years before when Al Qaeda was very active. So I'm just going to continue with this article here. The suspect had shouted out Allahu Akbar and told police he was upset because so many Muslims are dying in Afghanistan and in Palestine, and was also upset about the Gaza situation. The anti-terrorism prosecutor's office said it was in charge of the investigation. Saturday night's incident in central Paris occurred less than 8 months before the French capital hosts the Olympic Games and could raise questions about security at the global sporting event. So that's crazy, guys. The Olympics are going to be in Paris next summer, okay, just in 8 months. I mean, that's a perfect time for one of these jihadists to carry out an attack, but he shouted Allahu Akbar. I mean, this is insane. Okay, we're going back to pre 9/11 days here. Okay, so very, very serious situation. Let's see here. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps said in an official announcement that 2 Iranian advisors were killed in the Israeli airstrikes on Damascus the other day. According to the Public Relations Department of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, the 2 advisors who were killed in the Israeli attack were Muhammad Ali Shurja and Bana Takizada. Okay, so 2 Iranian advisors were killed in the Israeli airstrike on Damascus just the other day. So it makes you wonder, did Israel know that those advisors were there, and that's why they targeted those specific targets, because they knew that the Iranian advisors were there and they wanted to take them out? It's very possible. And Iran already threatened Israel, and Iran said a few weeks ago that if Israel takes out their forces, that they would consider that an attack. Iran basically told Israel, if you take out our people in Syria, we're going to treat that as like an act of war. Okay, so it's getting crazy, guys. It's really it's getting crazy. Country Christian, thank you so much for the donation. I got your email, by the way, Country Christian. I've just been so busy, but I did get your email. I'm going to respond to you. I just haven't had a chance. Just so much going on, but I will respond hopefully tonight after the stream. What's going on, New York Adventurer 1994? I hope you're doing well. I love Jesus 123. How's it going? The covenant with many. Yep, the covenant with many. That could be coming very soon. We're seeing all these things happening, and it's like right in line with what the Bible says. These peace treaties that they're doing. The constant attacks on Israel. I mean, this is just coming straight out of the Bible, guys. I mean, this is just it's like progressing warp speed towards the end, towards the return of Jesus Christ. It's like it's going real fast now. So let me see, what else do I have here? The Islamic resistance of Iraq declared today that they will resume attacks on U.S. military assets in Syria and Iraq due to the end of the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip and the continued military support for the Israeli army. So that's the Iranian group in Iraq. Okay, they're going to start attacking U.S. bases again. So, and like I said, they already used ballistic missiles before. So, they're going to probably do something crazy, even crazier now. Let me just see here. I wanted to share something with you guys. We have this tweet from CENTCOM, U.S. Central Command, and they're showing a picture of an Iranian plane that flew over the USS Dwight Eisenhower. That's the aircraft carrier that we have in the Persian Gulf. And it flew right over. I mean, or a drone. They're calling this thing a drone. I guess it is a drone. It looks like a plane. Looks like a plane to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? But there's nobody in there. You can see that there's no cockpit or anything. So yeah, it is a drone, but it looks like a plane. But obviously, it was trying to, see what's going on with our aircraft carrier. It was flying over to see what kind of planes we have on board and everything. So there's the Dwight Eisenhower right there, and here's that Iranian drone. Okay, and so they wrote here, aircraft from the Dwight Eisenhower carrier air wing intercept an Iranian UAV operating in an unsafe and unprofessional manner during aircraft carrier flight operations in the Arabian Gulf. The U.S. Navy will continue to fly and sail where international law allows. Okay, so the Arabian Gulf is the Persian Gulf. Okay, that's just another word for the Persian Gulf. So Iran is flying their drones over our aircraft carrier to see what we have on board. They're keeping an eye on us. And obviously that aircraft carrier is there in case they have to strike Iran. I mean, you're not going to position a whole strike group. It's not just one aircraft carrier. It's the entire strike group. They have destroyers. They have missile defense ships, to shoot down missiles that get fired from Iran. They have everything. Okay, it's the whole thing. They have everything that they need to annihilate Iran basically right now. They have all the equipment in the Middle East that they need to completely annihilate Iran. They have the USS Florida, which is the Ohio class sub with 154 Tomahawk missiles, potentially with nuclear warheads on them, so they could penetrate the bunkers that Iran has, because Iran is very mountainous. They're like more mountainous than Afghanistan. Okay, they have huge mountains in Iran, and the whole country is just mountains, not just nothing but mountains. And under those mountains is where Iran has all their bunkers. So you need earth penetrating capabilities to take those bunkers out. And conventional weapons are not going to do it. You need low yield nuclear warheads in order to rubble those bunkers. So we have the equipment in the region to do everything we need to do if we want to. Okay, and we couple of weeks ago, a lot of people forgot about this already, but the U.S. House of Representatives voted like 400 to 20 to basically declare that they will not allow Iran to become a nuclear power, and that the U.S. will do anything in its power to stop Iran from becoming a nuclear, and that they would authorize any ally of the U.S., including Israel, to take appropriate actions to denuclearize Iran. Okay, that was a resolution that was passed by the House like a month ago. Okay, so that's pretty serious. It's basically a soft declaration of war, is what that is. Smigs, thank you for the donation, Smigs. I appreciate it. Steve, I can't say the last name, Chiachalanti from Discover Ministries says the seals are already being opened. Check him out. Thank you, Smigs, for letting me know about that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a great evening, and thank you for that super chat. So this is very serious, guys. Okay, very, very serious. And we have the deputy head of the political bureau of Hamas, Saleh al-Aruri, saying there are now no negotiations regarding a ceasefire and no exchange of prisoners until the end of the aggression and a comprehensive and final ceasefire. And we transferred the women and children we had in our possession, despite Israel claiming the opposite. So the deputy head of the Hamas Politburo is saying that there's not going to be any more exchanges, there's not going to be any more negotiations until there's a final ceasefire. That's what the leaders of Hamas are saying. So it looks like there's not going to be any more truces, that potentially the hostages may not get released. They want basically a final ceasefire is what they want. They want a permanent ceasefire. And Israel's not going to go for that, okay? So both sides are not backing down. Israel's not backing down. Hamas is not backing down. Hamas wants a final ceasefire. They're not going to get it. So it's only going to escalate, guys. And right now it's quiet, but it's the quiet before the storm. So I expect in the coming days and weeks, things are really going to heat up, especially with this crazy pattern here that we're seeing with Forte 16. I mean, this thing is just going crazy out here. Look at this. This thing's been up here all day. Okay, this thing, I woke up in the morning and this thing was up here, and it's still up here. Okay, like almost 18 hours later, it's still up here. This is insane. It's going crazy over here. I haven't seen anything like this since the war started in this area. I haven't seen this before. I mean, they have flown RQ-4s up and down the coast here, but nothing like this. I mean, this is insane. They're very heavily focusing on Beirut right now. So, according to Lee Wheelbarger, he says that this is a way for them to gather information, targeting information here. Okay, and they're specifically focusing on Beirut because you see that boomerang, and Beirut is in the center of that boomerang. Okay, so they're trying to get as clear of a picture of this area as they can. So this is very, very serious, guys. Absolutely crazy times we're living in. We have top Iranian military officials arriving in Iraq for talks with Iraqi officials, including the Prime Minister of Iraq and the President of Iraq. That's crazy, guys. So Iranian military officials arriving in Iraq to meet with the Iraqi president and prime minister. That's insane. And the chief of general staff of the Iranian armed forces, upon arriving in Iraq, said that the purpose of the 2-day trip to Iraq is to examine the fields of development of military relations between the two countries. There is no security problem in Iran-Iraq relations, and relations are on the path of development. In this trip, the proper ground for development of Iran-Iraq relations will be established. Okay, so they want to establish closer military cooperation. Okay, Iran and Iraq. That's very concerning, guys. Very, very concerning. Um, so all these countries they're all joining forces against America, against Israel. They're all joining forces right now. It's just coming straight out of the Bible, guys. That's what the Bible says is going to happen in the end times. Is all these countries are going to band together and attack Israel. So moving on, I'm going to continue with some more breaking news here. We had a bunch of cyber attacks. We had Kamala Harris, the vice president, saying that under no circumstances would the U.S. permit any forced relocation of Palestinians. So this is pretty interesting. This happened today. She was speaking at some kind of climate change, United Nations climate change summit in Dubai. Okay. Vice President Kamala Harris said in a meeting Saturday with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi that Washington will not allow for the forced relocation of Palestinians or any redrawing of the current border of the Gaza Strip. Under no circumstances will the United States permit the forced relocation of Palestinians from Gaza or the West Bank, the besiegement of Gaza, or the redrawing of the borders of Gaza, Harris said, according to a statement from the vice president's office. The vice president, who is currently in the UAE attending the COP28 summit in Dubai, has been on the front lines of U.S. blah, 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 blah. Harris said Saturday that while the U.S. supports Israel's legitimate military objectives in Gaza, the civilian suffering inside the enclave has been too high. The vice president said she spoke in depth with several key leaders in the region about what expectations the U.S. will have with regard to post-conflict planning. Too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Frankly, the scale of civilian suffering and the images and videos coming from Gaza are devastating, Harris said at a press conference in Dubai. It is truly heartbreaking. So here we have the vice president of the United States basically going against Israel here. She has no idea what she's even talking about. I mean, Israel's going out of their way to protect civilians and do the best they can to prevent any kind of civilian damage. Okay, they have very precision weapons that they can use, and she just doesn't know what she's talking about. But this is crazy, guys. For what she's saying is just insane. Under no circumstances will the United States permit the forced relocation of Palestinians from Gaza or the West Bank, the besiegement of Gaza, or the redrawing of the borders of Gaza. So what does that mean? Is the U.S. going to go to war with Israel now, or they're going to, cut supplies off from Israel? I mean, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, he said like 2 years ago or a year ago that he wants to reintegrate the West Bank and Gaza into Israel. He said that like a year ago. So, that's going to be a big friction point right there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but absolutely insane. And there were a lot of rockets launched at Tel Aviv today. Let me just take my camera off for a sec here so you guys can see the full screen. A bunch of rockets fired at Tel Aviv. You can see all these little red pins here. And here's some more. Okay, so Hamas fired a buttload of rockets at Israel. Okay, if this isn't a sign that we're living in the end times, I don't know what is. I mean, we've never seen Israel come under attack like this before. I mean, they're getting attacked from all sides, from Yemen, from Lebanon, from Hamas. I mean, they're getting attacked from all sides. The only thing that we're waiting for is Iran or Syria or Russia to get involved. But a couple of days ago, I shared a video in one of my updates of the Russian military on the border with Israel. Okay, the Russian military has bases right on the border of Israel, guys, in Syria. Okay, and they set up checkpoints on the border with Israel, so that's very concerning. All right. Here we have a video. Let me see. I think this is the Israeli Iron Dome in Tel Aviv intercepting some of those rockets that Hamas fired. So these little white dots are the Iron Dome interceptors, and then you'll see them blow up in the air when they hit one of those rockets. So the Israeli Iron Dome is really working well. I mean, it's just it's taking out all these rockets. I mean, when you think of how many rockets Hamas has fired at Israel and how many I mean, pretty much all those rockets get shot down. It's pretty impressive, guys. The Israelis, they know what they're doing when it comes to air defense. That's for sure. Let's see. Let's see here. I have another video. This video shows the rockets fired from Hamas. Look at all these rockets that they fired. This is insane, guys. Look at this. Look at all these rockets. These were fired from Gaza. They fired a massive barrage of rockets earlier today, like I was showing you on the map. Look at this. And this is just one little clip. So the situation in the Middle East is not looking good. We also have this new disease spreading around the world. I'm hearing now that 11 states are reporting this child illness. I can't say the word on here, but you know what I mean? The thing that affects your lungs. This child illness that affects the lungs now. It's spreading. Okay, yesterday it was reported in Massachusetts. It was in Ohio a few days ago. We're hearing also Denmark. I mean, multiple countries, multiple states with this child illness now. Okay, so we could see lockdowns even return. I mean, it's like all these things coming together at once. It's like a perfect storm. We got this illness. We got the Middle East. We have Russia, Ukraine, Eastern Europe, the Baltics. We have North Korea, South Korea. I mean, it's like everything. And then on top of that, we have an election next year. It's just total chaos. So much going on all at once. Let me see here. What else do I have? And apparently there were 3 people killed at a Catholic church in the Philippines in Mindanao. Earlier today, 3 people have been killed and 9 wounded in an explosion at a Catholic mass in the Philippines, officials say. The incident occurred in a gymnasium at the Mindanao State University. Okay, so it was a gymnasium, not a church, but still it was a Catholic mass, which is like a church service for Catholics, at the Mindanao State University in the city of Marawi on Sunday morning. In 2017, the city was the scene of a 5-month battle between government forces and militants linked with the ISIS. So that's where the ISIS was operating in the Philippines, in this same area where this explosion killed 3 people at Mass, Catholic Mass, guys. So, another sign that we're in the end times. Okay, Jews are being attacked, Christians are being attacked. Absolutely insane. The university said it was deeply saddened and appalled by the senseless and horrific violence. Violence has no place in a civilized society, and it is particularly abhorrent in an institution of higher learning like MSU. We stand in solidarity with our Christian community and all those affected by this tragedy. The university added that additional security staff had been deployed on its campus, blah, blah, blah. So, absolutely insane, guys. We have Paris, we have the Philippines. I mean, what's next? I'm just waiting. Something's going to happen here. I'm telling you guys. I hate to say it, but I have a really bad feeling something's going to happen here in this country. Um, so, just want to share some pictures with you guys. This was posted by the U.S. military on the DVID's website, and it shows some operations on the Dwight Eisenhower carrier. And this was posted yesterday. This is coming from the Persian Gulf. It says here, an FA-18 Super Hornet attached to the Fighting Swordsman of the Strike Fighter Squadron 32 lands on the flight deck aboard the aircraft carrier USS Dwight Eisenhower in the Persian Gulf on December the 1st. The Dwight Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group is deployed to the U.S. Fifth Fleet Area of Operations to support maritime security and stability in the Middle East. All right, so this is an F-18. This was taken yesterday, this picture, and let's see what other pictures they have here. They have some supplies being moved around here, more F-18s, and some rotary wing aircraft here. Interesting pictures. You can see it looks like this one has some kind of ordnance on it. Look at that. Not sure what that is, but it has a bomb of some kind underneath it here. You can actually see what looks like an air-to-air missile here, and potentially some kind of bomb right there. Okay, so they're flying fully armed. Okay, they're flying fully armed. See what else here. Some more pictures to go through. Here's another one. You can see this thing is fully armed, guys. Look at that. There's the missiles and bombs on this thing. This was taken yesterday, guys. This is taken yesterday. This is an official source. This is the U.S. Department of Defense. Okay, it was date taken December 2nd, date posted December 2nd, location Arabian Gulf. Okay, so this is fully legit, fully vetted. Okay, nothing fake here. Okay, these are U.S. fighter jets, fully armed, conducting sorties in the Persian Gulf. So there's another picture there. More F-18s. Here's a good one. Looks like this one has fuel tanks. But pretty interesting. See, continuing with some more headlines, we have more cyber attacks. Apparently, there was a ransomware attack causing outages at 60 credit unions, a federal agency says. About 60 credit unions in the United States are experiencing outages because of a ransomware attack on an IT provider the institutions use, according to a federal agency. On Friday, the National Credit Union Administration, the agency that insures deposits at federally insured credit unions, said in a statement to ABC News that it was coordinating with affected credit unions in the wake of the hack. The full extent of the outage and its impact on credit unions was unclear Friday evening. One of the affected credit unions, the New York-based Mountain Valley Federal Credit Union, told CNN that technicians from hacked IT provider were working around the clock to get our systems back online. According to the NCUA spokesperson Joseph Adamali, credit unions reported that the ransomware attack, in which cybercriminals typically lock computer systems as an extortion tactic, affected a cloud computing firm provider used by credit unions, and that's spelled TRELLANCE. The National Credit Union Administration told ABC News that the hack occurred through a third-party vendor, FedComp, using Trellance software, which was the source of the cyber attack. Trellance did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Friday. Member deposits at affected federally insured credit unions are insured by the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund up to $250,000. So this is crazy, guys. Okay, more cyber attacks. We had the one in Pittsburgh on the water authority of some town outside of Pittsburgh, and now we have this going on. I mean, it's just insane. You know, probably most likely Iran was behind that, but they don't want to admit that, obviously, but that's probably who was responsible for that. You see what else here. Apparently, a cyber attack closed hospital emergency rooms in 3 U.S. states. Ardent Health, which oversees hospitals in states including Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, said it was targeted over Thanksgiving. A cyber attack has shut down emergency rooms in at least 3 states. A hospital operator warned on Monday, forcing the organization to divert patients to other facilities. Ardent Health, which oversees 30 hospitals in states across the U.S., including New Mexico, Texas, and Oklahoma, said it had been targeted by a ransomware attack over the Thanksgiving holiday. The attack had shut down a significant number of its computerized services, the company said in a news release. In an abundance of caution, our facilities are rescheduling some non-emergent elective procedures and diverting some emergency room patients to other area hospitals until systems are back online, Ardent Health's release said. So 30 hospitals, guys, 30 hospitals affected by that hack. That's just insane. Each of the affected Ardent hospital chains, Hillcrest Healthcare in Oklahoma, Lovelace Health in New Mexico, and UT Health in Texas, said that some of their emergency rooms were transferring patients to other hospitals. That's insane, guys. I mean, could you imagine if you were in the emergency room and you had to be moved to another hospital because of a cyber attack? That's crazy. The hospital operator said the cyber attack has affected computer programs that track patients' healthcare records, among others. That's kind of important. In its statement, Ardent said the ransomware attack had taken its network offline. The company said it reported the issue to law enforcement as well as retained third-party forensic and threat intelligence advisors. At this time, we cannot confirm the extent of any patient health or financial data that has been compromised. So this is huge, guys. Absolutely huge. Just hacks all over the place. Absolutely insane. Let's see here. What else do I have? See what you guys are saying in the chat. Redneck Prepper, what's going on? I see the moderators are busy tonight. Thank you guys for taking care of the trolls. I appreciate that. Aliquippa, yeah, Aliquippa was the name of that town outside of Pittsburgh. I was actually in Pittsburgh like right before Thanksgiving, I had to go there to drop someone off at the airport. K. Paul says my bank is going down Sunday night till the morning of Monday. Interesting. They might be doing some kind of updates overnight on their IT systems. That's usually what they do. Dan Zarks, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Another super chat. Craig Hutchinson, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let me see here. What else do I have? An Iran-linked hacking group is actively targeting and compromising multiple U.S. facilities for using an Israeli-made computer system, U.S. cybersecurity officials say. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, said on Friday that hackers known as the Cyber Avengers have been infiltrating video screens with the message, "You have been hacked, down with Israel. Every equipment made in Israel is Cyber Avengers' legal target." The cyber attacks have spanned multiple states, CISA said, while the equipment in question, Unitronics Vision Series programmable logic controllers, is predominantly used in water and wastewater systems companies in energy, food, and beverage manufacturing, and healthcare are also under threat. These are programmable logic controllers. These are SCADA and PLCs. PLCs are just essentially it's like an interface between the machine and the internet, so they can control these machines from the internet. And so the PLC is like it's part of the physical controls of a system, and it's also it's interfacing with the computer, so you can tell it what to do, like moving pumps up and down, or not pumps, moving, like, whatever, opening things up and closing things down, closing pumps, opening them, whatever. That's what a PLC does. Okay, programmable logic controller, and they're connected to the SCADA system. And for years, that's been a concern by the U.S. government, is that we would get attacked, that our our SCADA systems and our PLCs would get attacked by hackers, and they would be able to shut down our power grid, or mess with some of our critical infrastructure like dams. So it's pretty concerning. Let's see what else here. These compromised devices were publicly exposed to the internet with default passwords. The agency did not specify how many organizations have been hacked, but on Friday, CNN reported that less than 10 water facilities around the U.S. had been affected. Cyber Avengers was behind the breach at a water authority outside of Pittsburgh on November 25th. The Aliquippa Water Authority was forced to temporarily disable the compromised machine, but reassured citizens that the drinking water is safe. While it did not cause any major disruptions to the water supply, the incident revealed just how vulnerable the nation's critical infrastructure is to cyber attacks. If a hack like this can happen here in Western Pennsylvania, it can happen anywhere else in the United States. Senators John Fetterman, Bob Casey, blah, 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 said in a letter to the Attorney General. So this is crazy, guys. They also say here that they're tracking over 150 such groups, hacking groups, 150 hacking groups that they're tracking right now. Okay, any one of those groups could do some serious damage to our country. Okay, they could overload circuits. They could mess with our dams. They could, shut down power plants. I mean, there's so many different things they can do. And it's coming, guys. It's coming. Get prepared. Make sure you're ready for all this, because it's coming. Okay, things are continuing to spiral out of control. There was a little bit of a quiet period around Thanksgiving. Everybody kind of forgot about what's going on in the world, but things are continuing to spiral out of control. Okay, nothing is improving. It's only getting worse and worse. Dan Zarks, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate that. Russell Berna says, I'm a victim of the attack on the hospital. I was in the emergency room at a hospital in Amarillo, Texas, and the ER had a waiting period of 7 to 8 hours. Wow, 7 to 8 hours. That's insane. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. And you don't stop, yo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Greg, thank you for the updates, all your hard work, and for supporting Israel. God bless. Thank you so much, and you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words. It's very, very nice of you. Let's see here. I see there's a lot of trolls in the chat. That's definitely a common occurrence. Ingrid Perez says, hi, Greg. Thanks for your updates. I'm still always watching and liking your videos. Just haven't had a chance to comment. Congrats on hitting 100K subscribers. You deserved it. Thank you, Ingrid Perez. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I want to just share with you guys what the CDC is saying about this pediatric pneumonia. What's interesting is I've done a couple of videos on this, and it seems like anytime I put pneumonia or child pneumonia in the title, the video just bombs out, and I get like 50% of the views I normally do. And I'm just wondering if YouTube's not trying to like shadow ban videos on that. I don't know, but I just a theory I have. But this is coming from the CDC. This was posted yesterday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The CDC is monitoring reports of increased respiratory illness around the world. Diagnosis of pneumonia in children, along with other respiratory illnesses, increases every year in the fall and winter months. In the U.S., the CDC monitors increases in respiratory illness, including pneumonia, through multiple data sources. So they don't really give a whole lot of information here. They're just saying basically that they're monitoring it. But it looks like it seems to be affecting kids from age 5 to 17. Okay. They're saying that the level is still consistent with pre-pandemic years. So they're saying that they don't believe it's anything unusual. That's what the CDC is saying. But something's definitely going on, that's for sure. Sean McKenna, thank you so much for the donation. Best channel out there. Keep it up. God bless. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you so much. And I hope you're having a great evening. Really appreciate the super chat. Joe Jackson says, love your channel. Thank you, Joe. Electric Soldier says PLC controls the valves, pumps process, then goes to a network switch, then to a server or client. Yes, exactly. That's correct. That's exactly right. Yep. It's a controller, so it does stuff, and you can program it, tell it what to do. That's right. Let me see, what other news do I have here? Police foil a planned terrorist attack from Las Vegas teen who converted to Islamic State. Las Vegas police and the FBI thwarted a potential terror plot involving a 16-year-old, police said Friday. During a news conference, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department officials detailed an investigation on a social media platform. The image of the threat was shown by Las Vegas Metro PD officials. It read, "Peace be upon all brothers who see this. I am here to announce that I will be starting lone wolf operations in Las Vegas against the enemies of Allah. I ask you to make dua for victory. I am a supporter of the Islamic State, and I will make sure the Zionists in this city know it." The post included an ISIS flag and words in Arabic. Police immediately initiated a multi-agency investigation, officials said, and increased security in the area. Within hours of identifying the threat, police said they were able to identify the individual responsible and his location. Police described the suspect as a 16-year-old from Las Vegas who was a recent convert to Islam. A search warrant was served and the teenager was taken into custody without incident. A police search found components for building an IED along with bomb making recipes and instructions, Deputy Chief Dory Corin said Friday. Wow, that is insane, guys. They found bomb making instructions and recipes and an improvised explosive device when they searched his place. 16-year-old kid, okay, with a bomb base. He made a bomb, and he had recipes and instructions, guys. Absolutely insane. So, be very, very cautious. I'm not kidding. When you guys go out this holiday season, be very, very cautious. Okay. If you go to like New York City, Times Square, places like that, obvious terror targets, you have to be very, very cautious. I wouldn't even go, in my opinion, because I think something bad is going to happen soon. I just have a really, really bad feeling. It feels like before 9/11 now. So, make sure you're aware of your surroundings at all times. Know where the exits are. Um, Try to get into the habit of identifying cover and concealment everywhere you go. So, like if you're walking down the street somewhere, you should always be kind of scanning your surroundings and looking for cover and concealment. If something goes down, where are you going to go? Okay, where's the nearest place you can go that's going to stop bullets and fragmentation from an explosion? Is there a place you can hide? Okay, if there's nothing that can stop the bullets, is there a place you can hide to hide yourself if there's some jihadist walking around, with a firearm? Can you hide from that person? You should keep that in your mind. Like if you're sitting in a restaurant somewhere, you're getting a bite to eat, just look around the restaurant and say, okay, what would I do if some jihadist walked in right now with, a suicide vest or, a rifle? Where would I go? What would I do? Can I hide somewhere? Can I get behind something? Do I have a self-defense tool that I could use to stop this madman? Okay. So just keep that in mind, and avoid terror targets. Obvious terror targets I would avoid at all costs if you can. If you have no choice and you have to go to these areas because of your job or whatever the situation is, make sure you have a solid, bug out bag. Make sure you have first aid, at least a tourniquet and an Israeli bandage at the minimum. And if you can, get a self-defense tool and carry it if it's legal. So, what is the orange on the map? I'm not sure what you mean about the orange. This is a U.S. surveillance drone that's currently flying off the coast of Lebanon, and it's flying a very dense pattern around Beirut, which means that it's collecting targeting information for possibly uh, an attack on Beirut, potentially Israel or the U.S. So that's what we're looking at here. It's a U.S. intelligence drone. We also have this RC-135 rivet over the Persian Gulf. Check this out. This thing just took off not too long ago from Qatar, and look where it's flying. Okay, this is a intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance plane, and it's flying along the southern coast of Iran in the Persian Gulf. Look at that. So there's massive surveillance going on right now, okay, in the region here. So, things are going to pop off soon. I hope not. I pray nothing happens, but that's what it looks like. Um, um, see, what else do I have? Just checking through some of the other headlines here. See if there's anything else. We had G3 geomagnetic storm. G3, which is a strong geomagnetic storm, 2 days ago on Thursday night into Friday. And there were some pretty vivid auroras seen as far south as Nebraska. I didn't see anything over here, but I didn't look for it because I think the national NOAA screwed up in their forecast. They were saying it was going to happen on December 2nd, but it was like really early morning hours on December 2nd. So it was really like Thursday night that this happened, and I'm kind of mad because I probably would have seen it here. But oh well. Hopefully there'll be another chance for me to see it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to book a trip to Alaska. But here we have a picture coming from, this is, I think, in Michigan. You can see this very vivid aurora here, just beautiful. Let's just check out some of these pictures here. These pictures are amazing. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here. Let me just see if I can get you guys some pictures here. Something a little bit more positive, I guess you could say, not as negative. Let's see. So here we have Glidden, Wisconsin on December the 1st. Check this out. Friday night aurora. Look at how green that is. That's really nice. Wow. Let's see what else. Got Bucharest, Romania. Can't really see much of an aurora here. We got England. It's just the moon. Here we got Isle of Skye, Scotland. We have this nice aurora here. Check that out. So lots of auroras. We got Turkey here. Looks like I don't know what that is. Here's another aurora in Big Bay, Michigan. Big Bay, Michigan. You can see that green color there. That's just beautiful. Absolutely amazing. But looks like there's going to be more of these storms. They're saying that the solar max is going to be next year, but I think we already hit the solar max a few months ago, and I think we're on the way down. We're heading towards the minimum already. But they're saying that the max is still yet to come. I'm not sure if I believe that or not. This RC-135 in the Persian Gulf is pretty unusual. Um, flying like this, it's basically collecting information on Iran is what it's doing. But you can see Iran is just all mountains. Look at this terrain, guys. These are all mountains here, nothing but mountains. As far as the eye can see, it's just mountains, 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 mountains. I mean, to launch a successful strike on Iran, look at how massive Iran is. It's such a big country. It's like Iran is bigger than like Ukraine, Belarus. It's like as big as Ukraine and Poland put together. That's how big it is. It's a huge country, and it's all mountainous. So there's tons of places for them to hide all their missiles and all their nukes and everything else. So it's going to take special weapons to deal with something like that. We're not talking about Saddam, massive country with mountains and all kinds of rough terrain that things could be hidden in. So they're going to have to use some serious firepower to denuclearize Iran. It's not going to be that easy. I mean, it could be done, but it's going to take, it's going to take bunker busting warheads, nuclear warheads to do the job. And I don't know if Biden has it in him to do that. He seems very scared of everybody. You know, A Hobbit says, I live in Wasilla, Alaska. Oh, so you might be neighbors with Sarah Palin. You guys remember Sarah Palin? She was actually pretty cool. I supported her. I thought she was awesome. I liked her a lot. I was hoping she was her and McCain would win. And I supported her in 2012 when she ran for president. I was hoping that she would have won. Iran is exactly the same size as Alaska. There you go. Yep. That makes sense. Yeah. So that's like, that's like the entire Midwest, or it's like 1/3 of the US almost. It's huge, huge piece of land, and it's all mountainous. Ingrid Perez says beautiful pictures. Yeah, they're very, very beautiful. I always like looking at the aurora pictures. It's always cool to see. Mary Hammond says, I painted the skies with the northern lights today with pink, purple, and blue. So here we have all the sunspots on the sun right now. You can see a bunch of small sunspots here, nothing too crazy. These are all very small. They're not really anything crazy, but they could still cause a little interruption potentially. So we'll have to wait and see if any of those sunspots do anything. But the skies are pretty quiet over Europe right now. We don't really have a lot of military planes over Europe right now, which is pretty interesting. We just have these over the Middle East, and then we have some activity here in Korea. We have a Marine Corps Huron planes that just landed in South Korea. That's pretty interesting. Let's see, what do we got here? More Huron planes, more Marine planes. What's that? Lots of Marines. We got a Sub Hunter plane in Japan. That's pretty interesting. A lot of these Asian countries are doing drills now with the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines and South Korea. They're all doing drills with the U.S. They're all doing like joint naval drills because China's been blocking a lot of the Philippine vessels from resupplying this like island in off the coast of Philippines. They've been trying to, block the logistics ships that resupply some of the Philippine Navy ships. So a lot of serious interactions there, um, between the Philippine Navy and the Chinese Navy. So um, yeah, a lot of planes over Japan and China. Look at that. Look at all these Marine planes. These are all Marines. Lots of planes over Japan and South Korea. We had a earthquake in the Philippines, a 7.7 earlier today, or actually yesterday now. A lot of people were worried there was going to be a tsunami. There wasn't any tsunami, thank God. But a 7.7, that's pretty serious, guys. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here in the U.S. We got a bunch of VIP planes. Looks like they're leaving Southern California. They might just be heading back from the South Korea launched a spy satellite from SpaceX rocket in Vandenberg, and it's possible that these VIP planes flew there to watch the launch, and now they're going back. But this is pretty interesting. We got 3 of these VIP planes, two from the Navy, one from the Air Force. It's pretty interesting. Coming from the Pacific. Looks like they're maybe going back to DC. Let's see what else. Pretty quiet over the U.S., though. Unusually quiet. We had that weird aerial refueling exercise over Northern California earlier in the week. I talked about that in one of my updates. They were doing loops over here over Northern California. Bunch of KC-46 Pegasus planes, and there was a nuclear war command and control plane that got aerially refueled over Northern California, which is, pretty unusual. So I haven't heard any updates on Guyana, but looks like the situation in Guyana and Venezuela is not looking good. But I don't have any updates on Guyana at the moment. Let me see if I can check for updates on Guyana. Let's see. And Guyana has a ton of oil, and that's what it's all about. They want the oil. Venezuela wants the oil. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But tomorrow is the referendum in Venezuela. They're going to vote on whether or not the western part of Guyana is going to join Venezuela. They're basically pulling a Vladimir Putin, and they're going to try to annex the western part of Guyana, okay, west of the Essequibo River. So very concerning. And the Brazilian military has already put their military on the border. Let me just show you guys here something. Let's see if I can get this on the screen. Venezuela's defense minister, Padrino Lopez, says the Venezuelan people are united to defend Essequibo and the nation must prepare So let me just see if I can get this on the screen here for you. Hold on one moment. So this is the Venezuelan defense minister, and this is just some kind of propaganda video here that they put out, carrying the Venezuelan flag, saying that Essequibo is ours.
Se ha despertado un furor por donde quiera que uno pase. Hay alegría, hay fuerza, hay esa fuerza espiritual que emana del cuerpo, de nuestra mente, de nuestros corazones. Decía esta mañana que si alguien quería vernos unidos como un solo pueblo, un solo ente, lo ha logrado. Está Venezuela hoy en día unida en su propósito nacional de defensa del Esequibo, territorio que indiscutiblemente nos pertenece a nosotros los venezolanos. Que se vayan preparando porque la voz del pueblo retumbará el próximo 3 de diciembre. El Esequibo es... Se ha despertado un furor.
So, absolutely insane, guys. War is imminent. We got some aerial refuelers heading into Europe right now. It's pretty interesting. Check this out. That's not too common. We have some breaking news coming from North Korea. North Korea saying that Pyongyang considers any attack on its space program a declaration of war. Okay, so any attack on North Korea's satellites would be considered a declaration of war. This is coming from the North Korean Minister of Defense. A spokesman for the Ministry of National Defense of North Korea said that any attack on a space asset of North Korea will be deemed a declaration of war against it. An official concerned of the U.S. Space Command recently spouted blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else here. So, pretty interesting, guys. We know that the North Koreans, they just sent a spy satellite into orbit, and they were already able to take pictures of some of our most sensitive sites, including Norfolk Naval Base and Guam, Anderson Air Force Base, bunch of different sensitive locations. They were already able to take pictures of them. So, see if I have any other breaking news here. Just checking some of my other sources here. So I think that's the latest information that I have, guys. Let's see. We have some information about Ukraine here. In Germany, the training of the second group of Ukrainian soldiers to operate the Patriot missile system has been completed. About 70 soldiers and officers of the armed forces of Ukraine completed the course. So another batch of Ukrainian soldiers completed training with the Patriot missiles. And we have a huge battle going on right now in Avdiivka. Russia has been making gains in Avdiivka, and Ukraine has been making gains on the left bank of the Dnipro near Krinky. So pretty interesting. but more or less it looks like a stalemate. And there's some pretty serious winter conditions right now in Eastern Europe. A lot of snow going on in the Eastern European countries. Um, in Ukraine, there's a ton of snow right now. All over Eastern Europe, there's been a lot of snow. So that's obviously going to hinder any kind of military operations, slow things down. Um, see what you guys are saying in the chat. Jim Pop, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Greg, keep up the great work. I watch you more than I see my wife. That's funny. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support and thanks for the donation. Appreciate that. That's funny. Maliaka Nitama. How's it going, Maliaka? Great to see you in here. Kingdom Return says, Greg, they are prepping tanks in Lithuania, including 70,000 NATO troops massing near their border. Wow, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing. Aldo Schmedak says, I am off. Be well, mods, and my peeps will lay down and listen to it. Finish, but my hands need a rest. I'd be worn out tonight if I had to do more like you all still do. LOL, what a night. Thank you, Aldo. I hope you're doing well. New York Adventure says, I can't wait to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. Those are classics. Classics. I should probably rewatch those soon. Classic holiday movies. Jabes, thank you so much for the donation. We love you, Greg. Thank you, Jabes. I really appreciate it. Joan Julia, thank you for tuning in. You were here earlier. Thanks for tuning in again and coming back. Good night, K. Paul. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for moderating. I appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well. So do you guys like these live streams? Should I do more of them, or do you like the short video updates? I was thinking I could do more of these types of updates, maybe at least like once a week, if not more. Drops Family Garden said, none of these pansies know how to fight a winter war. Who are you referring to when you say pansies? Are you saying the Ukrainians, Russians, or someone else? Rodney Middleton says, so Greg, was that Venezuela voting yes to take over Guyana's land? Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, Venezuela, they're going to vote tomorrow, or actually today. They're going to vote today because it's already Sunday. They're going to vote to take back Guyana's land. That's correct. They're going to take back the entire western third of Guyana. So that's pretty crazy. So there's going to be a major war. It's going to turn into a major war. And that's right in our backyard, you know. I'm trying to see if I can get a camera of Ukraine so we could see the weather conditions there. But I know it's snowing like crazy. And in Poland and Ukraine, there's just a ton of snow everywhere. I can't seem to find any kind of camera here that we could watch. Oh, yeah, here we have one. This is in southeastern Poland. Lots of snow. Check this out. Lots of snow here. This is in Sanok. Sanok is in southeastern Poland, close to Ukraine and Slovakia. Get all that snow. There was a massive blizzard that hit Romania, Ukraine, Russia. but lots of snow in Eastern Europe. Still have this RC-135 rivet joint doing loops off the coast of Iran still. So that's pretty interesting. K. Paul says, I have to go to bed. Have a good night, K. Paul. Sleep well. Drops Family Garden says, good luck. We've been downing satellites for 6 years, and so have they, including the Russians. Elaine Lurwell says, hi, Greg. Love the live. Thank you for all you do. Great commentary. Appreciate you. Stay safe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dan Zarks, thanks again for another super chat. Good night, y'all. It's been entertaining. Lorna number 1. Thank you, Dan Zarks. I appreciate that. How about a Saturday night live? Yeah, I could do Saturday night lives. What's a good time? Is 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m.? What do you guys think? A later stream, earlier? What do you guys think? Ingrid Perez says, Greg, you can do whatever videos you want. I'll watch them all like always. Thank you, Ingrid. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Maliaka says, Russia is up to something. They are so quiet. Yeah, they're very quiet, unusually quiet. Kathy Kirk says, love live streams. Okay, I'm glad you love them. I like to do them. They're fun. I like interacting with you guys. Lee says, do more than just Saturday. When it's convenient for you, we will be there. Grave Truth 87 says, I'm a gamer after watching this. Kids in bed, Fallout 4 survival mode to occupy my worried mind. More live streams I watch daily. Yeah, I could definitely do more live streams. I'm going to try to do more live streams. Lee S says the live coverage is better. Okay, I'll definitely do more live streams then. Take another poll about the live streams like you did a month ago. Yeah, most people said that they prefer videos for the most part and some live streams mixed in. But I haven't been doing a lot of live streams lately, so I'll definitely do more. Maybe at least like once a week, twice a week, maybe more, however much time I have. Ingrid Perez says, I appreciate you, and any time works here when you are, especially on lives. Thank you, Ingrid. I appreciate that. Angela Dunn, great to see you. Thank you for showing up tonight. Dennis Klinger says, I'm more inclined to want to join a live stream, though I watch the videos too. Live just makes me more eager. Okay. That's good to know. Savvy Fuaco says, lots of people want the real news with NYPrepper after all of the constant lies from the mainstream media. Yeah, lies is right. Lies and, minimizing the truth and covering things up. So a couple of live streams per week would be great. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And maybe I was thinking of doing like a more relaxed live stream too, like maybe once a week. Just do like a relaxed live stream, playing video games or something, just hanging out, rather than just very intense all the time, so we can just hang out and chat. Clay Gray says 9 p.m. please, if that works for you. Yeah, I can do these earlier. I did it later tonight because I had a special stream earlier, 100,000 subscriber celebration stream earlier, and so I did that at 8:00, and I wanted to still do an update afterwards. Yeah, Call of Duty. I just got the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I just started the first level now. So I'd like to do maybe like some gaming streams. It sounds funny, but I actually like video games a little bit. You know, when I was a kid, I played a lot of video games. It's just a good way to relax, and we could chat about whatever. Unprovoked Moose Attack says, what part of PA are you in? I'm in Southwest PA, almost at the Ohio border. I'm in north central Pennsylvania. The PA Wilds region is where I'm at. Pennsylvania Wilds is what they call it. So I think I'm going to wind down the stream, guys. Modern Warfare is hella woke, isn't it? It's not the same as it used to be, that's for sure. They changed all the names of the guns and everything. Kim Clapadlo says, thank you for all you do. You're super chill as well. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great evening. Yeah, I try to stay as calm as I can. You know, obviously when things are serious, I can be pretty intense, but you know, life is short, so you know, you can't live, you know, in a constant state of intensity, or you just burn yourself out. So Mama of Six says, Greg, thank you for the coverage. We need to be praying for the lost. That's a good idea. We definitely have to do that. I'm going to make sure to do that. Gypsy Stacker says, Gypsy's Spaceship is my gaming channel. Everybody check out Gypsy's Spaceship. It's a gaming channel. Check them out. Do I plan on doing any gear reviews? Yeah, I have a bunch of gear reviews I got to do. Bunch of videos. I got a whole bunch of videos I have to edit. Bunch of ballistics videos. A bunch of hunting videos. Off-roading. That's going to be a new thing on my channel, is off-roading. Lots of off-roading. So look out for that. I'm going to do some more Bigfoot videos. I just got a set of tire chains so I can drive in the snow on the forest roads over here with my truck. So I'll do some winter off-roading trips, winter Bigfoot expeditions, lots of stuff planned. Yeah, I'm still lifting, of course. I never stopped lifting, absolutely. So I think I'm going to wind down the stream. I don't want to keep you guys too late. It's 1 a.m. already. But I will be back maybe tomorrow night with another live stream, possibly. Maybe I'll do another live update like this one. Any talks of lockdowns or mandates coming back? No, not that I'm aware of, not yet. But it could happen, you know. So just get prepared. Maliaka says lots of child pneumonia here in Rhode Island. Interesting. That's good to know. Thanks for telling me. T.W. Perry, great to see you. Yakaki says, thank you for everything, Greg. Yeah, no problem. So I think I'm going to wind it down for tonight. MWC says, I love the long live streams. Yeah, the long live streams are fun. I enjoy them too. Yeah, if you could share this live stream on your social media, that would be great. Share me out on Twitter. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these updates. Good night, Christine Barbu. Martin Walsh said, would love to see some camping and wilderness survival videos. Yeah, I have a lot of that stuff planned. Definitely. I'm going to do some I wanted to do a winter survival video series last year, but we had such a warm winter. There was no snow on the ground or anything. So I couldn't do it last year. It looks like this year it's going to be warm too. Um, so hopefully it'll be cold enough this year for me to do some winter survival videos, because I have a lot of winter survival knowledge and experience, living in cold climates my whole life, growing up in New York, now in Pennsylvania, hunting and spending time outdoors in the winter. I have a lot of stuff I could share with people and help people with that. So I'd like to do a winter survival series, and I'm going to continue my fictional nuclear war survival series, Dark Winter. Some of you guys may remember that. I did that last winter. I'm going to continue it. So that's just a fictional series where I try to survive in a post-nuclear war world. So I'm basically the director, producer, and actor all in one. So I'm going to restart that any week now. I'm going to try to release like 1 or 2 episodes before Christmas. And I'm going to try to release a whole season this winter. Kim Clapadlo says, wait, what? PA being warm? That's unheard of. Yeah, last winter, Pennsylvania was like really warm. It was very cold in November. And November and December were very cold. I thought that we were going to get slammed, because like it was like the second week of November and we had a blizzard with like 8 inches of snow, and it didn't melt. It was like it stayed on the ground. And then Thanksgiving was like super cold. There was like crazy ice everywhere. And then, after the new year, it was like January and February were like, it was like in the 30s and 40s every day. We had only like 18 inches of snow for the whole winter, which is very low. Our average for where I live is like 3 or 4 feet of snow a year. And it was like half of that. So, it was very warm last year. This year it seems a little bit more normal this year, but it doesn't seem as normal as it should be. Like today was like in the 50s. That's unheard of for December here. I mean, that's like approaching record warm, So hopefully there'll be some snow, because I love doing stuff in the winter. Rich the Prophet says, I want a lifted Jeep Rubicon with 32-inch tires, thick tread, so I can glide through the snow with ease. That's definitely good. Jeeps are great. Jeeps are definitely great. I love off-roading. Off-roading's fun. It's one of my other passions besides firearms and lifting weights. I'm personally going to go into Eastern Kentucky. I got family there, but if there is no room there, there's plenty of abandoned coal mines. Yes, coal mines are great for nuclear war. Abandoned coal mines, old tunnels, train tunnels that go through the mountains. Those are great fallout shelters. If you live in a city and there's a nuclear war, you can go into a train station underground, like New York City has the Grand Central Station, for example, or Penn Station. I mean, you go down in there, that's like a bunker, or any subway station. If you can't get to one of those, if you have like a tunnel, a lot of cities have tunnels that either go under rivers or they go through mountains. If you can get into a tunnel, that's excellent. You have a lot of earth around you. Craig Anello says, let's have a Christmas party here. That would be fun. Maybe I'll do that. Lots of good cutlery shops by me. Do I collect knives? I do like knives. I have a good amount of knives, but I'm more of a gun guy. But I do have some Benchmades. When it comes to knives, I'm more of like a practical, functional type of person. I just get what I need. I'm not like a collector or anything. Um, so I have some Benchmades and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of good knife shops here, a lot of good gun shops, lots of outdoor shops here. I mean, PA is just full of gun stores, off-roading stores. I mean, you name it, knife stores. It's a very outdoorsy state. You know, people here, they enjoy the outdoors. Um, it's the most hunters per square mile in the country here in PA. So if that tells you something about the culture here, you know, most hunters per square mile in the country. Jeffrey Petrie says, Greg, wish you lived close by. I'd lift the weights with you. I lift by myself. That would be cool, man. Yeah, I lift by myself too. It's always nice to lift with someone else. It makes the time go by, and it's more interesting. Janelle says, just tuned in. Can someone give me a quick rundown of this red alert? Yeah, the best thing to do would be to just go back to the beginning of the stream. I'm going to upload the stream and save it after this is over. And basically the first hour, I go through all the main headlines, all the main news is in the first hour. So it's too much for me to list, or say. It's a lot of stuff. So you just have to go back and watch like the first hour. Is it easy to get ammo? Yeah, there's ammo everywhere in PA. I mean, there's gun stores like every 5 or 10 miles. Just go on Google Earth and zoom into Pennsylvania and just type in gun shop, and you'll see like thousands of gun shops pop up all over. How close do I live to Sharon? I don't know where Sharon is. I'm not sure. What's going on, John Hoover? Great to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. It's good to hear from you. I got to respond to your Telegram message. I got your Telegram message the other day. I was just so busy, with my parents came up here to visit for the holiday. So I got to respond. John Hoover's our correspondent from Ukraine. He's originally from Texas, but he's helped me out a lot with stuff related to Ukraine, giving me a lot of intel. I did a live stream with him. We went over medical gear. He did a really good breakdown of all his medical gear. He's a volunteer in Ukraine, originally from Texas, but he goes to Ukraine a lot. And he volunteers there. He goes to the front lines and gives equipment to the front lines there. But he shared his kit, his medical kit. So highly recommend you guys watch that. Let me see, where was that? That was on June the 2nd. Wow, I can't believe it was that long ago. But if you go through my live streams, you'll see a first aid kit of an American medic in Ukraine. Excellent information there. I still have it up in my live streams saved. We now have this RC-135 getting aerially refueled here. Check this out. We have this RC-135 that's keeping an eye on Iran is now getting aerially refueled. So that's a huge sign that something's going down here. For them to be aerially refueling an intelligence plane is pretty serious. Savvy Fuoco says people in New York are going to PA to buy ammo because New York has background checks for ammo. Yeah, it's been that way for years. A lot of people from New York. I mean, when I lived in New York, I used to go to PA to get ammo and different things because New York is it's a hassle, you know. Yeah, they're doing background checks on ammo. They don't allow you to buy ammo on the internet anymore in New York. That was like they passed that law like over 10 years ago. So yeah, no, it's really sad. You know, it's sad that people have to do that. It's really unfortunate. Um, you know, it's a right. And here in America, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's a right. It's not a privilege. It's a God-given right to be able to own a firearm. You shouldn't need a license for it. You shouldn't need any kind of justification. Mr. Nemo, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great night, Mr. Nemo. Rip Curl Readiness says, I'd love to do some 4x4 with you. That would be awesome. I know that Oregon has a lot of nice 4x4 trails. Yeah, I gotta upgrade my not upgrade because it's basically ready to go. But there's some small things I want to do to my trail boss. I want to put some more lights on it, and I want to put a steel bumper and grill guard. So I have some little things I want to do to the trail boss, but it's good right from the factory. It's excellent truck. Highly recommend it. If anybody's shopping for a truck, I highly recommend the Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. Very good truck. And now they have the turbocharged 4-cylinder version, but I wouldn't get that. I would either get the diesel or get the gas V8. Excellent truck. I have the gas V8, and I get 20 miles to the gallon with it, and it's got a lot of horsepower too, and it sits pretty high. I have 33-inch tires right from the factory, 2-inch lift. You know, it's awesome, man. Highly recommend it. Very reasonable price for everything that you get too. Drops Family Garden. My 300 Win Mag is old school. You have to be a big boy to shoot it, or it takes your shoulder off. Got the double-sized shells I need to pack too. Redneck Prepper says, come to Arkansas to 4x4. I've never been to Arkansas before, actually. I've never been to Arkansas. I'd like to go. My parents actually recently went to the Hot Springs. I think that's in Arkansas, right? The Hot Springs National Park, and they loved it there. They said it was awesome. Kim Klepedlo says, I agree with what he said about firearms. I'm glad you agree with me, Kim. Rip Curl Readiness says, here in Oregon, we just had Measure 114 get removed because we kept fighting. It was the worst gun control yet. Oh, wow. That was that big gun control measure that they were all talking about, right? Like a few months back. I remember reading about that. They wanted to what was that about? I don't even remember. That was with the magazine capacity. They wanted to limit magazine capacity or something. Yeah, I remember that. I'm glad that they got that overturned. That's good news. It's good that people were fighting it. Mama of Six says the Ozarks are beautiful in Arkansas. Yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures and videos of the Ozarks. It looks like a really nice place. I definitely want to see it someday. Yeah, Arkansas has the hot springs. Yep. Lover of the Lion 4x4 is super fun, but dune buggies in southern Colorado is the epitome of off-road. That sounds pretty fun. Yeah, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. What do I think about the Cybertruck? I'm not sure. What is a Cybertruck? What is that? I've never even heard of that. That's interesting. Still have Forte 16 is now leaving after doing this heavy duty reconnaissance here. It's finally leaving, but I'm sure it's going to be replaced soon with a different one, or it's probably going to go back out. But this is crazy, guys. Look at this dense pattern here up and down along the coast of Lebanon. Absolutely insane. How many planes do I have saved on the flight radar? I'm not sure what you mean. Pine Gap. Yeah, Pine Gap is the NSA listening post in Australia. It's like dead in the middle of Australia. It's like some super secret base run by the NSA. A very weird place. Very weird place. Lover of the Lion says definitely a targeting path. Yeah, definitely a targeting path for sure. Absolutely. Maliaka says, Greg, your eyes have so much foresight. Thank you. I try my best. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff at Pine Gap. Pine Gap is a weird place. I'd like to do some more videos on like all these different secret military bases all over the country. I'd love to dig deeper into all these different facilities, maybe do like separate videos on that. What do you guys think if I did like a separate video series where I just do like in-depth research of all these different government buildings, and different military installations around the world that are super weird. Like one of my subscribers just sent me an email about some place in West Virginia called Rocket City or Rocket Center. It's like in northern West Virginia, right near Maryland, near Cumberland, Maryland. There's like a huge munitions storage site. I never even knew it existed there. It's called Rocket City or Rocket Center. Just absolutely insane. Kim Clapadlo says, damn, that's a lot of U-turns over and over again. Yeah, that's a lot of U-turns. That's right. It's absolutely insane. Ingrid Perez says, love you, Greg. May God continue to bless you. Thanks for all the time and effort you put in for us. I wouldn't be opposed to shirtless weightlifting videos. That's funny. I don't think you'll be seeing those, but that's funny. That's pretty funny. Harley Morris says, hello, Greg. Glad to catch a live tonight from the great state of West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia. I like West Virginia. Beautiful, beautiful state. I love the terrain there and the people. West Virginia is a nice place. I like it. I've driven through West Virginia quite a few times. When I go down to Tennessee, I always cut through there, and I always enjoy the ride. Kingdom Return says, Greg, I heard they was doing alien research down there. Plus, they have tunnels. Drops Family Garden says, do a deep dive of military boneyards with stuff ready to go. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, look at like Area 51. I mean, there's all kinds of different bases that stuff just goes on there. We have no idea what goes on there. But all the sources say that the U.S. government has already captured alien spacecraft and reverse engineered it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised at all. There's just so many weird situations that are just unexplainable. Um, like the Kecksburg, Pennsylvania incident, and then you have Roswell. Those two are just, to me, like clear evidence that the U.S. government recovered alien spacecraft. But if you guys have never heard of the Kecksburg incident, I recommend you look it up. They did a whole episode of unsolved mysteries on the Kecksburg incident. There was like a huge acorn shaped craft that crashed in the woods in southwestern PA, and local fire department responded because the woods caught on fire. And the local fire department, when they showed up, they saw this acorn shaped object that had like weird writing on it that didn't resemble any language known of here on Earth. And shortly after, the U.S. military showed up and they put the acorn on a flatbed truck and they took it out, and nobody knows where it went. But you know, and these are volunteer firefighters that, why would they lie about that? Why would they make up that story? These are people that have families, they have jobs. They're not some crazy, tinfoil hat person. These are just volunteers that saw this acorn object crash in the woods. Um, Looks like there's a bunch of people that want to see me work out shirtless. That's pretty funny. Dr. Greer, yeah, Dr. Greer, that's right. Yep. White as Snow says, yes, Greg, live once a week. Yeah, definitely. I love doing the live streams. I could talk all night. I mean, at some point I got to stop, but I see you guys want me to keep going. Johnny Finance, thank you so much for the donation. Been lurking on your videos for about 2 months. Really appreciate your hard work and dedication to getting us this info. Thank you, Johnny Finance. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support and for tuning in. Brian Duke says, hi, Greg. I watch daily and greatly appreciate your videos and information. I live in Beebe, Arkansas. If you get to go to Hot Springs, then they have some amazing restaurants. I'll have to check it out. My parents went to the Hot Springs. They loved it there. They said it was awesome. And I guess the water, like you can drink the water and it's supposed to be good for you or something like that. But they said it was awesome over there. I should do a review of the Tesla Cybertruck. Oh man, I don't know if trucks and Tesla go together. I don't know. Mr. Landfill says your female fans want to see a weightlifting shirtless video. That's funny. Yeah, I noticed that. That's funny. New York Adventurer says NYP decides when the stream ends. That's right, I do. You're funny. That's funny. Do you know if the Space Force program is still active under Biden? I never hear about it anymore. Yeah, I don't know about the Space Force program. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm sure there's something going on, but they're definitely pretty quiet about it. There is that weird plane that's been circling the globe, the X-37B. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I think it's the X-37B. That it's like a weird plane that they've had in orbit for years now. Nobody knows what it does, but it's like a super top secret plane at 30 months in orbit at a time. Absolutely insane. Let's just check this out. X-37B spaceplane completes its sixth mission, lands after nearly 30 months in orbit. Wow, that's this thing right here, guys. I mean, this is any ideas what this thing is? I have no idea what this is. A space bomber? Is it a reconnaissance plane? Is it taking pictures? I'm just totally. I have no idea what that thing is supposed to do. It looks really strange. I don't know. Eric Ibu Elliott says yes, please on the workout video. That's funny. That's funny. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Simple with Dimples, great to see you. Oh man, you've been with my channel for several years. Hey Greg, I'm so glad to see your channel growing. Well deserved. Wow. That's going back to the lockdown days, I think, is when I first saw you on my channel. Was back in the lockdown days. If I remember, you're from New York, right? Wow. Looks like everybody wants this shirtless workout video now. It seems to be trending in the chat. That's funny. Do I think the elections in 2024 will be canceled? It's possible. It's very possible. Yeah, it's especially if we go to war with Iran. That's a very high possibility. Or if there's some crazy, outbreak like we're seeing now, with this pneumonia going around. Let's see. What does this say? The X-37B landed November 12th at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Let's see, when was this? Was last year. So this is a year old article, but it's interesting. This was the sixth mission of the crewless reusable space plane built by Boeing and jointly operated by the U.S. Space Force and Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office, known as Orbital Test Vehicle 6. It launched to orbit May 2020. Wow, this thing was in the air in orbit for 30 months. 30 months. That's insane. I mean, what kind of engine? And maybe it uses like a nuclear engine or something. I mean, that's insane. We have no idea what this thing does. It's still in space right now, most likely. So I don't know. Very strange. I don't know. What do you guys think it is? I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. Like, what is this plane? It's really strange. And it looks like it's, let's see, it looks like it's back in space. Wait, let me see here. Looks like it's going to be launching in just 7 days. It's going back into space again on December the 10th. These are all the missions here. Check this out. Operational history. It looks like its first launch was April 2010, and it was in space for like half a year. Actually, 224 days. That was the first flight. And then it had its second mission from March 2011 to June 2012, which was 468 days. That was its second flight. Then the third mission was December 11th, 2012 to October 17th, 2014, 674 days, basically 2 years. And then mission number 4 was from May 2015 to May 2017, 717 days. And then mission 5 was September 2017 to October 2019, 779 days. And then mission number 6 was May 2020 to November 2022, 908 days. That's almost 3 years in space. That's crazy. And now they have one planned for 7 days from now. They're going to launch it again. But what's interesting is you notice that each mission is longer and longer. So like the first one was only 224 days, second one 468 days, third one 674 days, fourth one 717 days, fifth one 779 days, and the sixth one 900 days. So I wonder if they're going to try to hit 1,000 with this next mission. But this is insane, guys. Let's see what it says here about the mission. The fourth flight of the first X-37B and the seventh overall X-37B mission is planned to be launched on SpaceX's Falcon Heavy on December the 7th. The orbit will be higher than previous missions, so it's going to be higher in altitude. It's pretty interesting. So that's this week. It's going to launch this week. So pretty interesting stuff here. Very, very strange, guys. Very strange. Ryan C., thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wow. Looks like you donated a few times. Thank you so much, Ryan C. I really appreciate the donations. Hope you're having a great evening. And thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Let's see here. Gus Pritchett. What's going on, Gus? Ingrid Perez says, I had to try. Love you and God bless. Have a great night, Greg. C, not a bad suggestion. There's a demand just saying. Night, everyone. Good night, Ingrid. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like you got something started here. Your idea went viral. Have a great night. Thoughts on the new B-21 stealth bomber? Yeah, the B-21 stealth bomber is, in my opinion, that could be like the Skynet situation, because the B-21 is going to be capable of being autonomous. So it can fly like a drone. It could also be piloted by a person, but it can also fly on its own. And from what I'm hearing is they want to upload an AI algorithm into it. So if there's a nuclear war, it can fly on its own if it has to, and drop bombs. It can make its own decisions based and change targets as needed in the middle of a war. So that's pretty concerning, because that could be like a real life Skynet, real life Terminator, basically. So, but yeah, I mean, it's good that they're putting out a new stealth bomber, and let's see, how many of them are they going to build? I forget, because I think they're going to build a lot more than the B-2s. They were supposed to build like 100 B-2s, but supposedly Congress canceled it. This was like decades ago, but let's see, how many of them are they supposed to build? Wow, this is crazy, guys. They want to build a fleet of up to 200. That's just massive. Wow. That's insane. In February 2016, the head of Air Force Global Strike Command said he expected the service would place an initial order for 100 B-21s and build a full fleet of 175 to 200. That's insane. In 2017, 2 U.S. Air Force studies suggested that the Air Force could increase its initial purchase from 80 to 100 to 145 aircraft. So they're going to get at least 100 of them, but rumors have it that it could be up to 200, which is just massive. That is just insane. There's just no way that China or Russia could compete with that. I mean, that is massive, guys. I mean, even just one B-21 is enough to basically annihilate an entire country. And we're going to have maybe 200 of them. That's just ridiculous. So, yeah, that's insane. Our enemies are afraid of the B-21. Yeah, they definitely are. Angela Blanchard says, I talk about safety for those of us in Florida where we have no basements, hills, caves, etc. to go during nuclear fallout. Yeah, I've talked about it before, but basically what you want to do is if you're in Florida, what I would do is number one, look for that were built during the Cold War. A lot of those schools were built with radiation protection in mind. So any schools in your area that were built from at least or early 90s or older, they should be built with radiation protection in mind. They are built very sturdy to withstand blast waves. So if you can find a large building like a school, a hospital that has reinforced concrete kind, that's good because for radiation protection, the three things you need to know is you have distance, time, and shielding. Those are the three things. Those are the only things that protect you from radiation is distance, time, and shielding. Time, you can't really do anything about time. You just have to wait. But distance and shielding, you can do. Uh, distance, I mean, if you just put distance between the radiation source and yourself, it's going to be, that's going to help you a lot because you have the inverse square law. And the inverse square law, basically means that, in a nutshell, that very fast, not breakdown, I'm sorry. Uh, as you increase the distance from the radiation source, the radiation is going to drop dramatically. Why, for example, right? Chernobyl, you have a massive amount of radiation, and you can be 10 or 20 miles from Chernobyl, and there's nothing. I mean, you wouldn't even know that Chernobyl is there. But then as soon as you get close to Chernobyl, the radiation is insane, so, but outside of that 10-mile exclusion zone around Chernobyl, as long as you're outside of that 10-mile zone, you're fine. There's no radiation. It's normal. But as soon as you get within that 10 miles, it's very high. So it's kind of the same thing with fallout, except on a much smaller scale. You don't have to be 10 miles away from fallout because fallout is just little tiny particles that are irradiated. They're not actual nuclear material. It's not like pure uranium or plutonium. It's just like ash that got irradiated. So it's not as strong. And you could just put, let's say, 50 yards of distance from you in the fallout, and that's enough to reduce the radiation to a safe level. So, finding like even like a big warehouse, if there's a warehouse near you, or a Walmart or a Home Depot or a mall, I'm sure that there's malls in Florida. I did a whole video on how you can use a mall as a fallout shelter because, first of all, malls are huge. So you have the distance on your side. If you get into the center of the mall, you have a lot of distance around you from the outside and from the roof where the fallout is going to be landing on. And then you have all that concrete because malls are built from solid concrete. And then even inside of malls themselves, they have, like tunnels to access, like not tunnels, but like hallways to access the back of all the stores, for the employees so they don't have to go in through the front. They have like this access hallway, or it kind of looks like a tunnel, but it's like a hallway that goes behind all those stores, and that's where the employees go in. There's a door in the back there, and those hallways are surrounded in solid concrete. So I would say look for a mall. A mall would be a great option. A school that was built in the Cold War, a hospital. Hospitals are also pretty solid. If you have any kind of multi-floor building, like a apartment building or office building that has, let's say, more than 3 floors, that's a good option too, because that's going to give you distance from the fallout. The fallout is going to be mostly on the ground, and then you're going to have fallout on the roof, right? But most of the highest radiation is going to come from the ground, because that's where you're going to have more fallout. So if, let's say, there's like a 5-story apartment building, if you can get into the 3rd floor, so you have like equal distance between the roof and the ground, you're going to be in really good shape. If you can find a mall and get into one of those stores in the middle, or find one of those hallways, like I was saying, or even just like a maintenance closet, a lot of those like boiler rooms, and the boiler rooms are like bunkers in themselves because they're surrounded by concrete. Something like that. You just got to be creative, and use your mind, and just kind of think, like, you want to look for something that gives you distance, and you're surrounded by really dense material, and that's what's going to be the best thing. If you can't find anything with dense material, then you want as much distance as possible. So I hope that helps you out. Some of the fire stations have fallout shelters. Yeah, some fire stations do have fallout shelters. Yeah, that's true. Bailey Imbedin says, I wish our country had a ton of bunkers like the Baltic countries. What country are you in, Bailey? Potassium iodide. Yep, very important. Steve M says, Greg, stop. I don't like malls. That's funny. Hospital basements. Yeah. Hospital basements are excellent. They usually have generators in basements, but if it's in Florida, then they don't have a basement. Bailey says, I love B2s. I see them every day. I can't wait to see the B-21 in the sky. Yeah, they actually just flew a B-21 recently. It was all over Twitter. Let me see if I can find the video. I shared it in one of my recent streams, but let me see. I'll share it with you guys again. There was a video of the test flight. It went viral. Let me see here. Where was that thing? Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the video. I'm going to play the video of the B-21 so you guys could see it took off from Plant 42 in Palmdale. Very secretive base in Palmdale. Let's see here. We'll just play this video. You can hear the engine. The engine has a really powerful sound. And these stealth bombers, they can carry a lot of stuff, a lot of weight. They're very impressive. They can carry like, I don't know, 100,000 something pounds, just insane. 150,000 pounds of ordnance. It's ridiculous. Kinkoi says, I'm going to say goodnight. Have a great one. Thank you, Kinkoi. It was great to have you in here tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Maliaka says, going to bed. Hugs to you all. Good night, Maliaka. Thanks for tuning in. Let me play this video here. This is a B-21. So I think I'm going to wind down the live stream, guys. I've been live for almost 2.5 hours now. I think I'm going to wind it down. It's almost 2 a.m. here in the eastern U.S. Crystal Martin says, Greg, thank you so much for your very informative updates. No problem, Crystal. Maliaka says, definitely reverse engineering. Crypto says that's a UFO. Yeah, it looks crazy, doesn't it? Gypsy Stacker says, thanks again for the live. You don't need to stay 3 to 6 months in your fallout shelter. Actually, just 2 weeks. 2 weeks is enough, except in heavy fallout zones like in the Midwest, close to the missile fields. Then you're gonna want to stay like 3 to 4 weeks. But in light to moderate fallout areas, even just a week to 2 weeks is plenty. The radiation will subside by then. So that's why I always tell people nuclear war is survivable. People think that it's like the end of the world, you know. It's survivable as long as you have a fallout shelter. The fallout will go away. You know, it's not going to stay. It's not like Chernobyl where the world is going to be irradiated for years and years, unless they use, cobalt bombs. If they use cobalt bombs, then yeah. That's one of the things I worry about is Russia using cobalt bombs on our food supply, in our grain belt in the Midwest. If they detonate a bunch of cobalt bombs over the Midwest, then we're not going to be able to grow food for years unless we scrape like the top 10 feet of soil of the entire Midwest and take it away somewhere. The whole area is going to be contaminated. So hope and pray that Russia doesn't use cobalt bombs, but it's possible that they will. So that's my biggest fear. But just regular nuclear warheads, the radiation subsides after 2 weeks. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'm going to wind it down. Thank you for showing up tonight, and I'll be back with another update tomorrow probably, and maybe I'll do another live stream tomorrow night. What do you guys think? Should I do another live stream tomorrow? Obviously, I would do it sooner, like 8 p.m. What do you guys think? Live stream tomorrow, live update, 8 p.m. Skywatcher says, thanks, Greg. You're right on. Saturday night in the Greg stream. Juju Mama says yes. Lee S says yes. Elaine says yes, great. 2K Gamer says yes. TW Perry. All right, so tomorrow around 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m. at the latest, I'll do another live update. just like today. And then maybe we'll chat about random stuff afterwards. So thank you guys for showing up tonight and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys sleep well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Roger McCluskey says, thanks for your time. Live stream is awesome. No problem, Roger. Thank you for your time. Columbus Racing Shop says, thanks for all the updates, Greg. Have a good night. Thank you, Columbus. Crypto. Have a good night, Crypto. Redneck Prepper. Kingdom Return. Lexi, Harley Lady, Kenneth Jackson. Thank you guys so much. Juliana Rose. Poopy McScoopy. That's a funny name. Melissa Harper. Bob Devis08. Sherry Lee. T.W. Perry Annabelle. Rodney Middleton. Good night, Rodney. So thank you guys so much, and I'll be back tomorrow night with another live update. And I have a lot of things planned for this channel besides just my breaking news. I have a lot of stuff planned, so stay tuned. I'm going to do a lot of off-roading stuff, more firearm stuff, but I'm going to do I think I'm going to do like a video series just researching all these different secret government buildings and military bases and stuff. So I have a lot of cool stuff planned, more Bigfoot videos, Bigfoot expeditions, winter survival, lots of stuff planned for the channel. So stay tuned, guys. But other than that, I hope you guys sleep well, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.